चालू है ना? Okay. Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss the first chapter. In that first chapter, we have discussed about the introduction part towards the management and organizational behavior, right? We have discussed all this stuff, and then we have also discussed about the unit objectives, that management definition, right? We have also discussed the nature of management. Then we have also discussed the importance of management, right? We have also discussed about the management roles, right? In the upcoming lecture, I mean to say, today we are going to discuss the level, top level, middle level, and first level, that is called as bottom level. That also we have discussed in the previous lecture, right? Managerial skills, technical, human, conceptual skills also we have discussed. We have also discussed the diagnostic skills. Scope of management also we have discussed. We have discussed the first part, that is called as human resource management, right? Now today we are going to discuss the second part, that is called as financial management. Okay, financial management, which is a very important part, and I think you can able to understand this concept in a proper way while discussing. Okay, financial management is concerned with the procurement of funds and their effective utilization. Okay, over here we are going to discuss about the financial management, which is concerned with the money factor, right? It also includes the investment decision, financing decision, dividend policy decision, reporting decision, planning and controlling, taxation, and costing decisions. Okay, first of all, we are going to see the investment decision. It relates to selection of assets in which the funds can be invested. Okay, the criteria is based on the cost, benefit, and risk analysis. Assets can be a long term or a short term. Decision relating to long term assets is known as capital budgeting decisions, while relating to the short term, it is known as working capital decision. Always remember that the meaning of capital budgeting and the working capital decision. Okay, capital budgeting means what? Capital budgeting means what? We deals with the long term investment. Okay, it deals with the long term investment. Short term investment includes a working capital decision. What do you mean by working capital decision? Working capital means a short term capital in where you are going to purchase the raw material from the suppliers, and then you are going to convert that raw material into finished goods and then giving to the customers, right? This is a vicious cycle, is called as working capital cycle. And in this working capital cycle, you can easily convert your cash into money. You can easily convert your sales into cash, right? So this decision you have to take in a effective way. Okay, it is also based on the funds which you have invested. Okay, investment includes two types of decision. One is called as capital budgeting decision, which is for a longer duration of time, right, and which include a huge amount of investment. And second one is called as a working capital investment, which is made for a shorter duration of time. Okay, then we are going to discuss the second point, that is called as financing decision. Financing decision relating to the raising of funds through different sources of funds for investing activities. Okay, the sources of fund can be debt, equity. It deals with the rising of the cost in a reasonable proportion of debt and equity capital, so that the shareholders' wealth is maximized. Okay, third one is called dividend policy decision. When the firm earns profit, two alternatives are available to it. It can either contribute to the profit or to retain some of the profit for the future of the organization or meeting some of the contingency. It includes the decision of how much profit to retain and how much to contribute. Okay, this is called as a dividend policy decision. Then the fourth one is called as reporting. Always remember that financial accounting relates to record keeping of various financial transactions, their classification and preparation of the financial statement to show the financial position of the various stockholders of the company. Okay, then the fifth one is called as planning and controlling. Management accounting deals with the analysis and implementation of financial records so as the management can take corrective actions in case of standards and to meet. It also includes budgeting and forecasting and setting targets for profit and cost. Okay, so planning and controlling is important management activity, management accounting, which deals with the analysis and interpretation of financial records. Always remember that whatever the financial records which you are getting, right? Whatever the financial records which you are getting, with the help of that financial record, you can able to make a proper budget, and you can also able to make a proper forecasting, proper target of it. Okay, then next one is called as a taxation. This area deals with the various direct and indirect taxes which organization has to pay. Okay, taxation include, what are the things which is included in taxation? What are the things which is included in taxation? It includes two factors, that is called as direct tax and indirect tax. Okay, direct tax which we are going directly, which we are giving directly to the central government, right? And indirect tax which is indirectly we are going to give to the central government. Next one is called as costing. Costing deals with the recording of cost, their classification, analysis, and ascertain of cost and cost control. Okay, costing is also an important factor. Okay, with the help of which we can able to analyze and ascertain the cost of the product. Okay, we can able to also classify the cost of the product, right? So all these are called as a financial management procedure. Okay, where the funds are being involved. Then the next one is called as production management. Production means creation of utility for converting raw material into the finished product, so as the right goods are produced in right quantity at the right time at the right cost. Okay, it is very important field of management. Various sub areas of the production department are as follows. Take an example of plant layout and location, production planning and controlling, material management, product designing, planning and development, quality control. So all these five are the important factors. Now first one is called as a production management. Okay, layout and location. This area deals with deciding the situation of location where factory will be start functioning, designing of plant layout, designing of factory and placing various facilities within the plant. Okay, if you are having a plant where you have to make a proper designing of it, right? We have to make a proper various facilities within the plant, right? Various facilities include a department, right? Accounts department, finance department. You also have to maintain a proper machinery control, right? Machine को अच्छी तरह से अच्छी एक जगह पर रखना है, right? So that you can able to convert that raw material into finished goods very quickly, right? In the in the management terms, we are saying that production of right quantity into the right time and into the right cost. Okay, production planning and control. It requires forecasting, routine scheduling, dispatching, progress reporting, and taking corrective actions if targets are not achieved. Managers have to plan about various production policies, deciding about how, where, and which sequence of the work will be done. Okay, then the third one is called as material management. This area deals with procurement, storage, issue, and control of raw materials required for the production department. Okay, that is called as material management. Always remember that while doing a proper material management, what are the things you require to mention? You require to know about the storage area, right, where you are going to store that product, right? Procurement, issue and control of raw material required for the production process. Always remember that you should have the raw material in a appropriate time, because if you are not getting raw material from the supplier at the appropriate time, definitely you are not able to convert that raw material into finished goods, and the goods is not available in a proper time to the market. So what you have to do, you have to make availability of the raw material into the particular time, into the particular given time period. So it is also a very much important factor, that is called as material management. Then the next fourth point, that is called as product design. Okay, product design, planning and development. Okay, product design, planning and development means what? Product design is done when new new idea is concerned and the attempt is made to develop the product to the point that it becomes actually available. Okay, so over here you have what you have to do. You have to make a proper planning of the product. Okay, proper planning you have to make, and you have to also make a uh, proper research and development of these particular activities, right? Because these activity include manufacturing department, and while doing a uh, proper make while doing a proper planning and development of any kind of product, your product is going to be a effective one. Because uh, whenever you are going to make a proper development of any kind of product, any kind of new product, definitely the market demand of that product will be a higher one, because you are launching new product, and definitely the customer are eager to test new product, right? So over here also you have to make a proper production management. Then quality control. Always remember that quality control department work for production of quality production quality product by inspecting the product on the basis of strength, hardness, dimension, finish, chemical composition, which ensure the customer satisfaction. Quality control department work on the production of the quality product. Okay, it deals with the inspecting of the product on the basis of strength, hardness, chemical composition, all the things. Okay, the next one is called as marketing management. Marketing management involves analysis, planning, implementation, and control of program design to bring out desired exchange with customers that satisfy their needs and wants and build long-term relationship. It is a process of creating, delivering, communicating the value of the product and services through positioning to customers and managing customers relationship on the basis of organization. Marketing, see, always remember that marketing plays an important role in each and every section, right? It helps in analyzing, planning, implementation, and controlling of the product program designed to bring a desired exchange with customers that satisfy their needs and wants and building long-term relationship. Okay, so marketing plays an important role. Marketing helps in doing planning, implementation, and control of the program designed to bring out desired exchange with customers, which helps to satisfy them, right? Now in marketing management, what are the things which we are going to see? First one is called as market research, right? See, you also know that marketing plays an important role in each and every factor, because with the help of marketing, we can able to sell product more effectively, because marketing of the product is a necessary factor, because it helps to know customer about the product, right? Customer are very well known about the product, while because you are doing a marketing work, right? Because you are making aware about the product which is there into the market, right? So marketing management plays an important role to increase the sales of the product. Okay, now market research, it involves in collection of data related to product design, customers need and wants, advertising effectiveness, and price studies. Marketing research provides an effective sales forecast and promotes sound marketing strategies. Okay, then the second one is called as promotional activities. This area deals with the promotion of the product, including new product in market of various means, and encouraging the customers to buy the product. This activity decides upon the promotion mix, what should be means of approaching the customers, whether it comes by advertising, publicity, or personal selling, etc. Then the third one is called as sales distribution or after sales service. Sales management deals with handling of inquiries and orders from the customers, fixation of price, actual transfer of product to the customer after fulfilling certain formalities, and after sales services. So all these are the important factors. So over here we are going to discuss, we have discussed about the marketing management. Okay, always remember that while doing any kind of selling, and after you sell the product, you also have to do after sales service. I mean to say, you have to give certain kind of discounts as well. You also have to do certain kind of services to them, right? If anyone purchase any kind of product from you, take an example of vehicle. If anyone purchase any vehicle from you, what is your responsibility after purchasing of vehicle? if any any kind of solution is required for any problem, you again have to provide them a fruitful solution, right? Next one is called as functions of management. Manager is required to perform certain basic functions which may be broadly classified into 5 categories. Take an example of planning, organizing, directing, staffing and controlling, right? Planning it includes determination of objective and selection of appropriate course of action. Planning provide direction by directing in advance what is to be done, how to be done, when and where it is to be done, and to whom is to be done, right? Planning is always, remember that planning is a important factor of management, important functions of management, right? Without planning nothing can be achieved, and you also know that planning is very much important factor, right? Let us discuss little bit about the planning. Can you tell me the definition of the planning? See, planning is a trap laid to capture the future. Generally speaking, planning is deciding in advance what is to be done, right? Planning is an intellectual process, the conscious determination of the course on the basis of decision on purpose, facts, and consider estimates. Planning is the thinking process, the organized foresight and the vision based on the fact and experience that is required in intellectual action. Planning is a process of establishing goals and suitable course of action for achieving those goals. Okay, so all these are the helpful factor of planning. Planning is a basic of managerial operation. It involves selecting of the objectives and policies, programs and procedure for the achievement of business objectives. Today, it is considered as a strategic area of management, right? Plans are made to operate in future. Always remember that when you are making any kind of planning, you should know that it helps to, it helps to operate the future. I mean to say, you can able to brighten your future by making an effective plan. Okay, so planning is an important factor. Always remember that. Don't forget this concept. Planning is an important concept. Okay, then the second one is called as organization. It is concerned bringing together need, money, material, technology, production or output. It involves decision relating to division of work, formulating structure, and ensure coordination and ensuring authority and responsibility. Always remember that after doing planning, what is your next role? Your next role is to make a proper organization of it. Okay, organization is the second fundamental function of management. The organizing process results and the creation of formal organizational structure. It is a process of consist of determining the activities to be performed in the organization, grouping these activities and assigning managerial authorities and responsibilities to people employed in the organization. Okay, the problem is assigning duties, delegation, authorities of different person is always therefore helpful for making more than one person are required to achieve organizational objectives. Okay, always remember that organization is a social unit of human grouping. Okay, it is helpful for deliberating structure for the purpose of attaining specific goal. Thus, operation, armies, schools, hospital, prisons, etc. all are the organization. Organizing involves in the preparation of managing for implementing plant. The manager must determine who reports to whom in the organization, right? Organizing is a dynamic process, basically consists of the 4 major sub process: identifying of activities, grouping of activities, assigning of activities, delegation of activities. So all these are the important factors. Okay, first one is assigning of activities. To make an effective organization process, the manager must identify the series of activities to be carried out in order to achieve a desirable organizational objectives. He has to take care of the main and connect the activities to route of, and it includes, okay, it also includes the manager's activities which keep into the mind on the objectives to achieve that objectives. Okay, grouping of activities, it is also a process of organizing only, delegation of authority and assigning activities. Then the next process that is called as staffing. Okay, this is the next factor which is called as a next function of management, staffing. Now, resources like man, building, capital, machines, raw material, labors, and human resources and management have to be procured from society for conducting any business. Okay, These resources are grouped into physical, financial, and human. Okay, always remember that every organization need human resources to keep to get physical resources utilized for achieving its objectives. Okay, it is important to have a good organization structure, but it is not important to fill with the jobs with the right people. Okay, now see, staffing aims at providing right kind and right number of human resources at the right time. It involves right relating it involves activity relating to recruitment, selection, right, training, development, motivation, and compensation. Okay, always remember that staffing plays an important role because it is a main function of management, mainly refers to manpower requirement, arranging and procuring it through recruitment and selection. Okay, staffing consists of human resource planning and determining manpower requirement of an enterprise in terms of quality and quantity, identifying proper sources, tools and techniques for acquiring human and resources through proper recruitment and selection, formulating and implementing proper HR policies for maintaining manpower with the organization for longer time. It enhances their knowledge, skills, and attitude by providing them proper scientific training and conducting various development programs. So all these are the functions of staffing. Okay. Now the process of staffing. See, staffing include human resource planning, job analysis, recruitment, selection, placement and orientation, training and development, right? It also include performance appraisal. It also include promotion and transfer of the employees. So all these are the important factors. Now we are going to see the next factor that is called as directing. Okay, so you have understood the concept of planning, concept of staffing. It is a process of determining manpower requirement and the means of meeting the requirement in order to carry out the integrant plan of the organization. Okay, the next factors that we are going to discuss is called as a direction, right? After staffing, the next factor is called as direction. Okay, it is an act of guiding and inspiring people to perform. It involves four important elements such as leadership, motivation, communication, and supervision. Okay, so all these four things are included in the directing activity. Okay, direction is a sum of total of managerial efforts that are applied for guiding and inspiring the working team to make a better accomplishment in their organization. Okay, directing is also concerned with the total manner in which manager influences the action of subordinates. It is a final action of the managers which is getting others to act after all perception can be completed. Okay, so what is direction? Direction is a guide, the inspiration and the leadership of those men and women that constitute a real core of the responsibility of management. Okay, directing is telling people what to do and saying that they to do to the best of their ability. It increases making assignment, explaining procedure, seeing that mistakes are corrected, providing on the job instruction, and of course issuing orders. So all these are the things which comes under the head of direction. Okay, direction is the heart and soul of management. Without direction, management functions may come to standstill. It is a direction that provides impetus to the whole managerial functions. Okay, now direction is an important function of management because those responsible for attaining the objective must be guided and directed for fruitful result. Okay, so it plays an important role. Okay, now the next point is called as controlling. Okay, the objectives of controlling is to ensure the organization in moving in a desired direction. It involves establishment of standard of performance, measuring actual performance, comparing actual performance with the standards, taking corrective actions in case of negative derivations. Okay, so control, first of all, controlling comes into the word of control. Control is one of the most important elements of management. Control is taking a systematic approach in figuring out if you are doing what you want to be doing or not. Okay, many people are advised to management control. Okay, without objectives and plan, control is not being achieved, is not possible. Without objectives and plan, control is not possible. Okay, so always remember that first of all you should have a proper objectives and plan, and then you also have to implement the controlling factor. Okay, control can be defined as determining what is being accomplished, evaluating the performance, and if necessary analyzing corrective measures so that the performance take place according to the planning, right? Self-organizing, self-managed terms, uh, network organization, etc., allow organization to be more expensive and adapt to today's changing world. Okay, so first of all planning, then organizing, then directing, and then controlling. This is the function of management. Okay, staffing also comes in between organizing and directing. Okay, after directing, then you have to make a proper control. Okay, so you have understood the concept of controlling, right? Now we are going to see the controlling, why controlling is required and why it is a final link. Okay, controlling is a final link in the functional change of management activities that brings the functions of management cycle full circle. Okay, control is a process through which the standard for performance of the people and the process are set, communicate, and applied. Effective control system use mechanism to monitor activities and take corrective actions if necessary. The controller observes that happens and compares that with what was supposed to happen. Okay, so why we required controlling, I mean to say, what are the need of control? The need and necessity of control is felt due to various factors. The basic need for controlling is the setting of standards. By standards we mean some guidance which can be used to achieve targets of possibilities, profitability, quick processing of order, and reducing wastage, etc., so that so that there are no value processes and objectives, and some fixed pattern can be reduced the confusion. Controlling involves a careful analysis of planning phase and focus on important inputs and execution stage. The second factors of psychological of humans, right? Proper control in the organization smoothen the working of the organization. The effective system of control creates order and discipline in the organization and helps to maximize the behavioral problem. Okay, it is also helpful for maximizing the behavioral problems. So you also knows that controlling is an important factor. With the help of this control process, we can also involve the controlling of many variations that take place in the organization. These variation can be studied on the basis of model. Okay, thus the study of variation reducing techniques can be formed, which is the corrective actions for controlling process. So always remember that standard action plan of input and output is possible by studying the process of control and variations. Okay, thus increasing the process towards goals is possible by studying controlling. So controlling prepare the organization for uncalled problems like political changes, downtrend of the markets, share market, economic changes, competition. Therefore, the strategy to tackle such uncalled problem, or we can say uncircumstances, right, can be developed by the organization. Corrective actions can be taken by suggested. Now see, there are other problems also which we are seeing. So what we have to make, we have to make a proper strategy to control all this stuff. Okay, that is, so all these problems are called as uncalled problem, or we can say uncertain circumstances. Okay, both the word is applicable. So this is the functions of management. So we have studied the functions of management, right? Now we are going to study about the organizational behavior. Okay, organizational behavior. Organizational behavior is study that relates to individual working together in group or terms. Organizational behavior is a field of study that investigates the impact of individual, group, and structure have on behavior of the employees within the organization. For the purpose of applying such knowledge towards improving organizational effectiveness. Okay, so first of all we are going to discuss about the organizational behavior. Okay, organizational behavior is a field of study that investigates the impact that individual, group, or structure have their behavior within organization. For the purpose of applying such knowledge towards improving the organizational effectiveness. Okay, organizational behavior is a distinct idea to expertise with the common body of knowledge. It studies three determinants of behavior of the organization. First one is called as individual, second one is called as group, and third one is called as structure. It applies the government gains about individual, group, and the effect of structure on behavior in order to make an organization work more effectively. Okay, so over here, with the help of these factors, we can able to understand that organizational behavior is a very important factor, because it is a kind of study, it is a kind of field of study that investigate the impact that individual, group, and the structure have on behavior within organization for the purpose of applying such knowledge towards improving the organizational effectiveness. Okay, it is also called as a system scientific discipline, okay, in which large number of research studies the concept, large number of research studies and conceptual development have consistently adding to the knowledge base. Okay, now there are few goals in organizational development: to understand, to describe, to predict, and to control. Okay, now the elements of organization behavior, there are four elements: people, structure, technological, and environmental. Okay, now let us see the things which is given on your book. Let us see. Consciously and unconsciously we try to interpret and predict the behavior of others. Okay, our prediction about the behavior is based on our experience with the people in the environment that we get by observing and interacting with them, right? We also learn through the experience of others. The result is that we form generalization about human behavior which is based on the institutional. The feeling of institutional is not supportive by facts about behavior. Our generalization is not always accurate. Okay, sometimes we assume that person is good or bad, but you think by the behavior we can able to understand how actually the person is. So behavior tells the story of an individual person, right? So always remember that these factors is very much necessary, because it also help to generate some kind of thing. Let us see. Everyone can be motivated by financial rewards. If you want to give the financial reward, definitely they are going to get motivated, so their behavior can be also changed. They will also work positively more, because they are getting some kind of some kind of remuneration, I mean to say some kind of recognition from the company. So they will also get motivated, and they will also try to work more hard, because they have got some fruitful result from the organization, right? Then the most effective group is one that do not have any conflict. Always remember that one is called as an effective group which does not have any kind of conflict between the others. So you can able to understand with this factor, all the workers are working in a very effective way, so they are not going to face any kind of difficulties. Interview of an effective selection technique. Always remember that you are going to give an interview for this effective solution techniques. If you are providing any kind of solution for a particular problem, definitely you will going to get an appreciation from the organization as well. After all, the above generalization do not hold true in every condition, right? Yes, definitely in an organization you are not going to have all this stuff, right? It may be possible that no two individuals are likely to behave in the same manner under similar set of conditions. There are lots of individual differences. Okay, however, there are certain fundamental consistency underlying the behavior of an individual. These consistencies can be identified and modified to explain individual differences. Okay, the fundamental consistencies allow predictability. Okay, if we replace constitution institution with systematic study, we are in better position to predict behavior, because we know that how the person is going to behave in future, right? Because we know him very effectively, right? If any two person are talking with each other and they are friend, so you can able to understand from their behavior how they are going to behave in a certain condition, right? In a certain situation, because you know them very well. Okay, so behavior can be identified with the help of this phenomena. Okay, a systematic study attempts to identify relationship between variables, determine the causes and the effects of relationship, and draw conclusion based upon the scientific evidence. Okay, so if you want to know the behavior of other, you should have to first of all talk with him, right? You have to spend a few days with him so that you can able to understand the behavior of the person, how he get irritated, how get confused, how he get happy. So all this stuff we can able to understand by looking at the person, but you have to spend certain time with him or her, right? With the help of which you can able to understand the behavior of the person individually, right? So this is called as a organizational behavior. The objective of organizational behavior is to predict and explain and to control individual behavior, group behavior in team and organization in order to attain organizational effectiveness. Organizational effectiveness is measured in terms of quality and quantity of work, satisfaction and commitment of employees. Always remember that you should know the behavior of the employees, those who are working under you, so that while allocation of work also you can able to predict that the person is going to do your work in a proper way or not, because you know the behavior of the person. So always remember that personal organizational behavior, I mean to say the individual behavior plays an important role, because with the help of the individual behavior you can able to understand their uh, you can able to understand how he or she is going to react in a certain circumstances or a certain situation. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the OB model, right? That is called as the organizational behavior model, OB model. Okay, OB model, the key elements of OB model includes uh, environment, structure, technological, right? This is the OB model. Individual level, the characteristics related to individual level like personality characteristics, attitudes, variable perceptions. This is called as the individual level. Then the group level. Okay, in group level, the behavior of people in groups like group norms, group coherence, etc. And third one is called as the organizational level, the design of organizational structure, organizational culture, human resources, policies and practices also have an impact on uh, dependent variable. Okay, so over here we are going to discuss about the key elements of this. Okay, now over here, see, they have given OB model. See, organizational part they have given, a group level part they have given, then individual part they have given, individual level they have given. Now input independent variable, output independent variable. See, this is the organizational behavior. Now first of all, in this organizational behavior, what are the things we are going to see? We are going to see from the organizational point of view. Organizational culture, always remember that organizational culture plays an important role. Okay, because we know how to live in that organization, right? If you got any kind of job over there, you have to follow the rules and regulation of the organization, right? Whatever the organizational structure is, you have to follow them properly. You have to make a proper note of all these stuffs, all the policies, all the rules which is being laid by in the organization. You have to follow them in a proper way, right? Human resources policies and practices you have to follow. Then in group level, group norm, group coherence, leadership, conflict, team, group structure, group decision making, all the stuffs are the important factors while making a proper group activity. Then individual level, right? Individually level, what are the things we have to take into the consideration? The personality of the person, right? The values, the attitude, right? Perception, motivation, individual decision making, because all these stuffs tells the story of the particular person, right? How he react with the certain condition, which for which things he give more preference. Okay, for which things he don't like or he don't like to work, right? So all these stuffs are comes under the head of individual level. In individual level, we are able to measure his personality, right? We are able to understand how he is going to work, how is his style of working, I mean to say whether he is punctual in this working environment or not, whether he is able to get comfortable with the uh, surrounding zone. So all this stuff we have to understand that motivation factor. Always remember that this motivation factor is also plays an important role. If a person is getting rewards and recognition in particular parties or particular seminar, definitely his morale is going to be boosted and he will again try to perform well. So this is also some kind of individual practical ability, right, that you have to understand. Now these all are the input independent variable. Now with the help of this, if you are going to provide a proper input, definitely the output will be the productivity, absenteeism, attrition, and job satisfaction. Okay, if you are giving a positive input, definitely your productivity is also going to be improved, right? And absenteeism, definitely you will able to find out the absenteeism between them, right? The next one is attrition, and the last one is job satisfaction, whether whether a person is going to get a proper job opportunities or not, whether he is satisfied, whether a person is really satisfied with the job which he is getting. So all these stuff comes under the head of this job satisfaction work. Okay, so this is a factor that is called as a organizational body, right? Organizational body. Then the next one that we are going to discuss about the summary of the first chapter. Okay, now we are going to discuss the summary of the first chapter so that we can able to finish our first chapter. First one is now we have completed our first chapter. Management is a life giving activity of an organization. All the organization need management irrespective of their size, activity, for growth and survival. That also we have studied. We have also studied about the management activities that brings together human and non-human inputs to produce variable output by utilizing a proper input effectively. Yes, if you have any kind of human resources, you have to utilize them properly to get a proper output, right? So all this stuff is very much required. Okay, management is universal, group oriented, group activity. The process of management include planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. The management helps in achieving organizational goals. Management are required to possess technical, human, conceptual, and organizational skills. The technical skills are required by first level of management as they are in direct contact with workers and are responsible for the day-to-day operations. Okay, conceptual skills are required by top management by top management as they have to make a long-term strategies for the organizational after scanning the internal and external environment by environment of the organization and understanding the relationship of the variables present in the organization. Always remember that management plays an important role in each and every factor, right? In each and every factor, management plays a very important role, even for the organizational development also. You know what do you mean by organization? See, organization organization behavior is a field of study that investigate the impact that individual, group, and structure have on behavior within organization for the purpose of applying such knowledge towards improving the organizational effectiveness. Always remember that organization plays an important role for the growth and development of the management activity, right? Because you are making a proper implementation of plans, and proper implementation of plan is required for the growth and development of any activity. Okay, so over here management plays an important role. You know what do you mean by management? Management is a process of working with and through others to achieve the organizational objectives in the changing environment. Okay, now let us discuss with the characteristics of management. It helps to give a distinct activity. It is a kind of group activity, right? For achieving any kind of objectives you require a proper management activity, right? It is a kind of group efforts. Okay, management activity is a kind of group effort because you are going to if you are a manager, you are going to get work done from the others means the subordinates, okay, under you, which they are working, right? So you have to maintain a good and healthy relationship within them to have to make a proper contribution with them. Now you also have to make a balancing effectiveness and efficiency. You also have to provide a dynamic discipline towards them. right? Management also include a discipline behavior as well. Management is a creator rather than the creation of an economy. It is a dynamic and growth oriented function. Always remember that management is not just passive but adaptive behavior. It means taking action to make a desirable results to come to pass. Okay, so always remember that management is an important activity. Management is a very live and progressive discipline, as its success and failures depend upon how management is equipped with latest techniques and principles. Okay, so with this point of view also, you can able to understand that management plays an important role. And always remember that management is a set of functions directive at an effective and efficient utilization of resources in a pursuit of organizational goals. Okay, if you want to have a proper organizational goals, you have to maintain a proper management activity. Management is a process by which a cooperative group direct action of others towards a common goal. Okay, it is a process of working with or through others to effectively achieve organizational objectives by efficiently using limited resources in a changing environment. Okay, it is also called as establishing an effective environment for people operating in formal organizational group. Okay, so don't forget all this stuff which is required for the manager. Okay, all these qualities are required for the manager to have a good result in future. Okay, the scope of the management is very wide. You also know that the scope is very wide. The functional area of management are human resource management, functional management, production management, and marketing management, that we have seen, right? And we have also studied about the organizational behavior. It is a systematic study of individual behavior working in a group or an organization, right? Now we have also discussed about the organizational behavior model, that is called as OB model. Okay, which helps to it helps to provide some kind of input, and the output we are going to get a productivity, job satisfaction, turnover, and absenteeism, right? We are going to get with this OB model. Okay, then the key terms. These key terms also we have studied. The first one is called as management. I have explained you the concept very well. I have also explained the concept of management role, right, in the organization. Management roles throw a light on how managers perform their work, how management perform their work. Then second one is called as an interpersonal role, that also we have seen: informational role, decisional role, top level management, middle level management, first level management. First level management is called as a lower level management, those who working in a grassroots, right? All these things we have discussed earlier, right? Technical skills, human skills, conceptual skill, diagnostic skill, and the organizational behavior, all these terms we have discussed. So we have completed our first chapter, right? Now in the upcoming lecture, we are going to see the evaluation of management thoughts. Okay, in the upcoming lecture, we are going to see the second chapter, that is called as evaluation of management thoughts. Okay, now thank you for your cooperation. Thank you very much. In the upcoming lecture, we are going to discuss about the evaluation of management thoughts. Thank you very much.